Hello, my name is Chris and welcome to Game Domain. Today, we're taking another look at Splatoon 3. It's hard to believe that there's already a new Splatoon game on the horizon. Splatoon 2 felt like such a dramatic improvement over the original game that it's hard to imagine what else they could do. Needless to say, Nintendo's going to have to be very careful with Splatoon 3 to make everybody happy. Today, we're talking about the 10 things that we don't want to see in Splatoon 3. Number 10. A focus on the desert theme. To be completely honest, I'm not a big fan of what we've seen of Splatoon 3's desert theme so far. Not at all. It looks really boring and not very attractive to me. I don't like looking at the empty deserts in the backgrounds of some of the trailer themes that we've seen so far, so I really hope they aren't too common in the new game. I guess a couple of desert focus stages would be okay just to fit the theme, but I'm still not really a fan. Hopefully my mind changes once I actually get to pick up and play the game. Even more than the stages, I hope that there aren't too much of a focus on deserts in the story mode. Every level could easily take place in the same bland desert background, and I really hope that just isn't the case. Number 9. Ranked mode rotations. I know a lot of people in the Splatoon community don't like the map rotations, but I'm actually a big fan of them, to be honest. I feel like 2 maps is plenty of variety per rotation and helps you better prepare for the battle ahead. What I'm not a fan of is how Nintendo restricts you to only be able to play a certain mode during the rotations. What if I want to play some Rainmaker and the last rotation just passed? Do I have to wait 6 hours to play a game of Rainmaker for the online service that I'm paying for? You better believe it! And while we're at it, what if I want to play Salmon Run, but I just missed that last match? Do I have to once again wait hours to play what I want to play? Oh, you certainly betcha. Why even do this, Nintendo? Let us play the mode we want to play when we want to play it. I definitely don't want to see ranked rotations make a return in Splatoon 3. Number 8. Too many specials from Splatoon 1 and 2. I'm already worried that Splatoon 3 is going to end up feeling more like Splatoon 2.5 than an actual new game. Add in the fact that there's going to be returning specials like the Tenta missiles and the Inkzuka, and those worries become a whole lot more real. Hopefully Nintendo won't add in too many old stages and specials because we've already got a Splatoon game on the Switch to play all that old stuff. Let's just get some new content, please. Number 7. Returning servers. You probably heard people say this already, so I won't go that deep into it, but Nintendo absolutely cannot bring back their servers from Splatoon 2. You've seen the disconnect in plenty of matches, and you've probably gotten disconnected from matches a number of times yourselves. If not in Splatoon, you've probably seen the lag in Smashes Online for sure. This isn't entirely the fault of people having bad internet, but more so the fault of Nintendo's insane, outdated online servers that they're still using from the 90s. I'm not even kidding. Don't bring those servers back in Splatoon 3, for goodness sake, please. Number 6. Splatnet. Splatnet is honestly a sick feature that a lot of hardcore fans like myself get a lot of use out of, but that comes with one major issue. Nintendo wanted people to use Splatnet so badly that they locked voice chat behind it. I get the whole wanting to get people to download your app thing, but come on, Nintendo. Everyone has Discord nowadays. If you don't build in voice chat to your games, people will just use Discord instead. The main problem with this is that no voice chat can make turf wars and ranked battles especially an absolute nightmare. I can understand not wanting to incorporate voice chat in turf wars or low ranked battles since the game is meant for kids, but how about you just do this instead? Add in voice chat to be unlocked once you hit ranked X or even S+, so that high level players can actually communicate in the game. A lot of the reason why so many people hate solo queue clan blitz is because the mode requires so much teamwork that it's impossible to have with only the booyah and this way commands. Nintendo, if you're going to bring back Splatnet, at least let high ranked players chat with each other in game. But if you're not even willing to do that, I'd take in-game voice chat over Splatnet any day of the week. And while we're on the topic of Splatnet, it's a really cool app that shows some awesome stats. It kind of makes me wonder why they aren't in the base game to begin with. Number 5. A broken launch. As a former Tri-Slosher man, I'm not afraid to say that Splatoon 2's launch was pretty damn broken. The weapons weren't balanced very well at all, sloshers were OP, and a whole bunch of the other weapons like blasters were complete and utter trash. Please, please don't do this again. That just really wouldn't be very fun. Splatoon 2 has some issues, but the balancing is actually pretty good right now. Please just carry this over into Splatoon 3. To make sure this is the case, Nintendo could do a whole lot of test fires prior to the game's release so they can work out some balancing issues to make the launch a little more fair. Number 4. Region-locked gear. Why, Nintendo? Why include region-locked gear? Just make the gear pop up in stores for everyone, regardless of where they're from. It's pretty simple. In case you didn't know, in Splatoon 2, Nintendo added a bunch of sick gear to only Japanese versions of the game. That's because that gear originated from the Splatoon manga, which is most popular in Japan, but who really cares? Nobody in America is going to see manga gear in the shops and return your game because they're f***ing confused. Most people could care less where this gear comes from, and that includes me. There's no downside to removing this region lock in Splatoon 3. All it really does is make it a heck of a lot harder for Americans to get the gear that they want. Just don't do this. It's stupid. Just stop. Number 3. The return of Squid Beats. Oh boy. Let's talk about Squid Beats. Squid Beats is unironically the hardest mode in Splatoon 2 that you never even knew probably existed. It's one of those dancing rhythm games located in Inkopolis Square, except it's absurdly difficult. Usually, I like to see other spin-off modes in games to spice them up a bit, but this mode takes it just a little bit too far. It's pretty near impossible to get gold medals on every single song. I've only seen one guy do it on YouTube named Bagel the Bagel, and I'm convinced he's kind of a freaking god. Perfecting every song is harder than getting to rank X on Clam Blitz, and that's coming from a rank X player. In case you don't get what the problem with this is yet, it's that Squid Beats makes Splatoon 2 a million times harder to 100% complete. It's hard enough to get max level and rank as it is, but Nintendo just had to add in things like Squid Beats to make it pretty near impossible. Maybe I'm just trash at Squid Beats, but I really don't want to see it return in Splatoon 3. Number 2. RNG Weapons. Did you know that whether or not you win a match is based on RNG in Splatoon 2? And I'm not just talking about getting good teammates and a bad matchup. The accuracy of a whole bunch of the shooters in Splatoon 2, including a lot of the blasters, are actually RNG dependent. I'm not going to sit here and tell you about how including RNG in a competitive online game is a really bad idea. I'm sure you can figure that out for yourself. Nintendo, instead of using RNG to nerf the shooters, reduce the range or cut the speed instead. Something. I don't know. There are just a lot of better ways to balance things without using RNG. Number 1. Dripfed Content. For the love of God, don't wait 6 months after the game releases to add rank X. Don't wait to add any returning weapon classes. Don't wait to add returning level schemes. Give us everything from Splatoon 2 in the new game at freaking launch. It would be silly if Splatoon 3 was inferior to its predecessor for a brief while because of a lack of content at launch. I have no problem with being drip-fed new content, but don't hold returning content back from us for the sake of adding it into the game later. Splatoon 3 needs to be packed with content on launch day to make it worth buying. This isn't the only Splatoon on the console anymore, so I seriously hope Nintendo gives it what it really needs to do well. Wow, that was a pretty long list. If you stuck with us this long, you must have seriously enjoyed this video, so I ask, if you are still here, please subscribe to get notified of our future videos, as well as like and share this video around. The more shares this gets, the more people see it, and it would really help us out. This has been Chris with Game Domain, and I will see you all again real soon.